I'm just in the middle of a massive tour, as you know, and sleeping in a million different beds every night, but it's fine.
You are taking on what could be seen as a nightmare tour. It is a huge one.
Yeah.
I mean, does it take a lot out of you, and do you get to the stage where you just wish you didn't have to sing the same songs again?
No, that's not what happens. What happens is that you just the traveling and the different hotels make you a little bit weary. But from, say, now until stage time, which will be about 9 o'clock for me, I start to relax and get myself ready for the show. So it's around now that I have a little whinge, but by the time I'm on stage, I'll be in good shape.
You've done a lot of towns in the last couple of months. Which has been your favourite?
Can't tell you that because, to be honest with you, it's been going really well. It's all been very positive, really great reactions, and it's been a good fun with, not any pressure. The only whinge I have is about the travelling, but the actual shows and the towns are very, very responsive. It's been great.
You're doing a 66-date UK tour. You must be looking forward to mid-May when you'll be at the London Palladium. That's a lovely place to play, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. We played that last year. And it was the first time I'd ever played it. It's really nice because it has such a big history, hasn't it? And it was a great show, so I'm looking forward to going back today, this time.
The tour's called Still Sexy. Now, I have to tell you, mate, I hate you for being so sexy. Your songs, your appearance, your act, I'm just so jealous. It's not on.
The tour's called Still Sexy because a single actually was supposed to be released for the tour, and the single's called Still Sexy, Yes You Are, and but we're a bit behind on that, so we didn't make it for the tour.
Why do women tend to flock to you? What is it about your voice and what you do that makes you so sexy?
Well, for me, it's not for me to actually say that, because I think I just do my thing. And fortunately for me, over the years, the ladies have liked it. But it's a real trap for a man to start thinking that he's sexy, because finger down the throat time as far as women are concerned. But I think if women like you and enjoy what you do, that's really a lucky break for you, because you can't actually work on that. It's just the way you are and the way they perceive you, which is fortunate for you that they see it in a very positive way.
You got into a bit of bother, didn't you? In your time, you covered a song by John Lennon. You rewrote the lyrics to Give Peace a Chance. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
But it turned out good in the end, didn't it?
Well, it turned out a massive, a piece of fortune, because I just started writing and I changed the lyrics of the song, and we made a kind of reggae-fied version of it. And the guy who financed it came into the studio and said, what have you done? You can't change John Lennon's lyrics without his permission. But he liked what we'd done, and he decided to send it off with fingers crossed. We thought he was absolutely mad. And of course, a few days later, I got the call saying that John Lennon had heard it and how he'd loved it and wanted to put it out on the Apple record label, which is amazing for some guys who were just, trying something,
Because at that point, you were unknown, you were starting in the business, and to be recognised by such an icon must have been great for you.
That's right, and, as I look back at it, I must then say to myself, he must have heard or seen something that has sustained me for all these years, really.
You were called the Hot Chocolate Band. You later became Hot Chocolate, as everyone will know. It's always sad when you kind of put the emphasis on one part of somebody's career. Yeah. But I think the thing that's latterly made you famous to the younger generation, people, in their teens going into their 20s, has been, of course, the Full Monty, your song, You Sexy Thing. Mm-hmm. Now, that must have made you a fortune in the last few years.
Well, I can buy you a drink now, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. Were you happy to be associated with the Full Monty?
Well, the amazing thing about Full Monty is that, it was a very low-budget film. They came along to ask if they could use the song, and they did a deal with my publishers. And over the years, a lot of songs of mine have been used in films or low-budget films. You never hear of the films again. So it was absolutely amazing to find that this low-budget thing became one of the greatest hits of all time here in the UK. So to be associated with anything like that as a writer is a real plus, you know.
It'd be wrong to say that it was one song that made your career. There's so many great songs you've done, and of course, Hot Chocolate Greatest Hits came out, I think it was 2 years ago now, wasn't it? Huge success, and kind of relaunched you into the public eye, didn't it?
Yes, I mean, it actually made the profile higher again. For me personally, I think it brought to the attention of people that I did write so many of the hit songs for Hot Chocolate, and you know, I was the voice of Hot Chocolate, so it has helped me on the road a lot with all the full houses that I'm getting.
What is the kind of response from the audience?
Well, it's actually better than it's ever been, to be honest with you, because it's a little bit that, you know, I'm a familiar face and I'm a friend, you know, and I feel as if I'm just playing to a load of friends and good wishes, you know. I'm not out there trying to prove anything. I'm just there to deliver the songs that they know and love, and some new songs that I've written, and it's a lovely show. It's a really party thing.
Two highlights in your career latterly, let's say in the last 5 years. You've had the Full Monty thing, which was huge. And of course, then you've been doing the Cadbury Highlights adverts. It
was a very interesting thing because they started early in last year to talk to me about it, my people about it. And we had to be careful that, you know, they didn't get us to look silly. So they had everything silly going on around the advert, and me just doing my thing, which was the only way I could have done that, really.
And he got you a holiday to Prague.
Oh, of course, yeah. Prague, yeah.
Always a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Something which I'm sure people will major on was the fact that you were invited by Lady Diana and Prince Charles to play at their pre-wedding reception at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
That must have been a great honour for you.
It was what I would say a real night to remember, and it's not. I don't know if I'll ever have another night like that. As a performing artist, it was first of all a real pleasure to meet them both, and then of course to stand on stage and look out at all the glistening tiaras and all the heads of government across the world was quite an amazing audience, really.
Heads of government were there, members of the European royalty, and of course the royal family themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Story, really. It's ended that way.
You can't get much better than that, really, can you?
No, it was great.
In '85, though, you did leave entertainment for a while. Did you miss it?
No, I didn't miss it. So I missed it. It took about 5 years for me to really start to miss it, because I had spent 15 years traveling, and the pressure of coming up with something new every few months, a new song, and the pressure of the whole, you know, the whole pop business takes a lot out of you. So I was really drained, and I was happy to spend time with my family and just become a couch potato and watch my sports day and night and day. You know, it was wonderful just to sit in one place. So, you know, I had a really good break. When
does your tour end now?
It's 28th of May.
And you'll be taking a holiday, will you, or something?
Yes, I'm on the plane after that.
Yeah. What are the kind of people who are coming to see your show? Are they the younger generation? Because
I call it kind of from birth to death, meaning that it's a really across the board, a real mixture of people who have been with me from 70s, 80s, and the young ones who are 17, 18, and upwards from that.
It must be somebody. It must be great for somebody of your heritage in music to be recognised by the younger generation, because you did Top of the Pops. Now you can't be on any more a modern a program than that.
Yeah.
And to be, are the younger generation coming to see you?
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is that the show is a real, it's a real mixture of what I call sensitive music, some ballads, and then you get the funky stuff, which expands all generation, because that people can dance and move to that. So it's not really, it's a really a cross section of whatever age you are. You're going to get into this.
Great talking to you today. You're coming to the Derby Assembly Rooms on the 28th, and you'll be at the De Montfort Hall in Leicester on the 7th of May. It's been absolutely great talking to you today, a real honour. Okay. But before you go, there's one thing that I have really got to thank you for.
What is that?
And I'd like your opinion on it after you hear it. Okay. This thing I've done for all my radio career, and it gets a laugh every time, and you are the man that's made it happen.
Go on then.
Can I just do it for you? I'll do it in a kind of jockey kind. I don't do radio presentation very well, as you've gathered.
Okay.
So many calls this evening, and some of them asking how I got this job.
It started with a kid.
Now that has given me
I like that.
That has given me a career of laughs.
I like that.
And that is the only reason I am working on a regional station today, and I have to thank you for it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Cheers, Errol. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.